the second time, no one has ever done that in professional level drag racing. It's happened one other time. A man named Dan Fletcher, one of the greatest sportsman drag racers of all time, pulled off the stunt. But in terms of professional categories, no one's ever swept it twice. Greg Anderson's the only one that swept it once, and he did it back in 2004 in the Pro Stock division. And then there is Matt Hartford, a man who came up short against Greg Anderson in Denver. Numbers to understand, numbers to know with this final round matchup. Tony, the tally between these two men is 10-0, favoring Greg Anderson. Where does that put Matt Hartford's head?
Well, Matt is coming in at a slight disadvantage, mostly because they had some work to do in between rounds. They won their semifinal matchup. However, it wasn't exactly what they wanted. They were a second off. The car left the starting line. It shook. Matt had to get off the throttle, back in it. That's what advanced him. So more than likely what they did was it's so crucial to cool the engines off of these pro stock machines. Meanwhile, the tuner is going back in the trailer, looking at the computer data and trying to figure out whether it was in the gearing or the tire pressure or the wheelie bar adjustment or something with the engine. However the case, they were definitely making adjustments. They have the performance. They had it in the first and second round. They just need to find it again.
We saw on the screen moments ago, Greg Anderson, the most wins over his career in the Western Swing. 13 Western Swing race victories. The next closest competitors have 11. He's trying to stretch that gap to 3. Kim Anderson, Greg's wife, has been out on the Western Swing with her husband. She has seen his change of mood. One of the most well-known and most competitive men on the NHRA circuit. He has collected 93 victories over the course of his career. And Matt Hartford, the career, or the season, I should say, of his pro stock career so far, he came up short just a couple of weeks ago to Greg Anderson on the mountain. Can he beat him in the forest? Here we go. An 0.23 reaction time for Matt Hartford. Greg Anderson is going to need a very fast horse at the top end. It's Matt Hartford. Matt Hartford on a hole shot. 0.23 reaction time to Greg's 0.54. Kim Anderson reacts, and Matt Hartford wins the Wally. Matt Hartford told us he was going to do it, Tony. He told us at the top end.
Well, you got to love the reverse psychology. What he said is he's going to make Greg wait. He didn't make him wait. He actually rolled into stage first, but then, so that was a little bit of a surprise, but he did execute like he did say. He said he was going to leave on him. He did, and that was just enough to get him to win.
An example of how the sport of drag racing can gut you like a fish. You've come in here, you've succeeded at 2 races straight, you've made the final round. To many people, it's a foregone conclusion you're going to win, but it wasn't to Matt Hartford. Wow, 0.23 reaction time to Greg Anderson's 0.54. The speed favoring Greg Anderson. The ET favoring Greg Anderson, and Matt Hartford's on top of his Camaro. Undoubtedly the most satisfying win of Matt Hartford's career. The second race win of Matt Hartford's pro stock career. The 6th different race winner in the 2019 season. This is the most satisfying trophy that man has ever held in his life, and JB Howe's with him.
As Matt Hartford collects his first Wally of 2019, the 6th different winner in pro stock, to do it on a hole shot. How much more special is that?
You know, I told Greg down here when you interviewed us that I was going to leave on him. I don't think I outran him, but we're taking the Wally home, and this is for everybody at Rottler, but more importantly, all my crew. I couldn't do it without him. You know, last time we won, my wife wasn't here with us. She's been here working her butt off all weekend, but this Wally right here, it's awesome. You know, this is home track for CIP1. Chris is my partner in the car. It's just everybody. Robs, Kenny Koretsky, everybody at Total Seal. I don't even know where to start. Jason Curry, Larry, the Hose Connection. Just 4 final rounds and finally close it this year. It's awesome.
You did it. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Matt Hartford as the horsepower and the skill to win at the highest level. Now we look at our Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson final round. This was Randall Andrus and Doug Vansel in the finals here, and this was a barn burner, Tony.
Yeah, right off the starting line. That's about 0.04 of a second advantage for Doug Vansel. Look at that front wheel settling down. Not enough. Randall Andrus losing on a hole shot, only 105 mile an hour, slowed down about 15 mile an hour differential from Doug Vansel. I don't know if that would have made a difference.
One of the greatest riders in nitro motorcycle racing history, Doug Vansel, collects a Wally for the Vance & Hines team and prepares himself for the U.S. Nationals, which will close that season of these bikes, and he is in strong nick. The next pair of cars to go down the racetrack could be a defining one in the history of the National Hot Rod Association. John Force, Ron Capps, up next. Don't leave.
Now that you have new Dr. Scholl's Massaging Gel Advanced Insoles with softer, bouncier gel waves, you'll move over 10% more than before. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
$12 endless apps from TGI Fridays are back just for you. You, a human being with an appetite, which, through a remarkable twist of fate, is the reason we call them appetizers. $12 endless apps. Pick one app, then another, endlessly. TGI Fridays.
Finally, one product that can handle any spill. Magic Dry, the world's first chemical-free, 100% organic spill absorbent. Magic Dry works faster and 5 times more absorbent than clay-based products. Magic Dry, available on magicdryus.com.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey. So Chantix can help you quit slow turkey. Along with support, Chantix is proven to help you quit. With Chantix, you can keep smoking at first and ease into quitting. Chantix reduces the urge, so when the day arrives, you'll be more ready to kiss cigarettes goodbye. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, depressed mood, suicidal thoughts or actions, seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or life-threatening allergic and skin reactions. Decrease alcohol use. Use caution driving or operating machinery. Tell your doctor if you've had mental health problems. The most common side effect is nausea. Quit smoking slow turkey. Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
We gotta go.
Think ahead. Think Advance. Save up to $40 on CarQuest brakes at Advance Auto Parts.
E3 Diamond Fire technology maximizes the fuel burn for more power and better fuel efficiency.
I'm Ron Capps. I run E3 spark plugs in my Nitro Funny car. What are you running?
Start Saturday strong on Fox. Every Saturday at 11, it's the all-new Big Noon Kickoff pregame show, followed by the Big Noon Saturday game of the week. Touchdown! Start Saturday strong. Start Saturday on Fox.
The Magic Dry Organic Absorbent NHRA Northwest Nationals is sponsored by Lucas Oil, the world leader in high-performance lubricants and problem-solving additives.
Let's ride with John Force on this run. John having to drive just a bit. Down across the finish line, first in the championship to John Force. There it is. Championship number 16 is in the books for John Force.
Legend.
It's a good race, but it's John Force winning number 100.
John Force, for the first time since Gainesville last year, via the whole shot. How about this for a nice number? Career win 149. That's huge.
Now, John Force, one of the most historic names in all of motorsports, stands on the brink of 150 wins.
In the world of NHRA drag racing, this is Hercules. This is Paul Bunyan. This is John Q. Public and John Wayne rolled up into one 11,000 horsepower package. His name, John Force, defines in many ways Nitro Funny Car drag racing. It has defined an attitude, it has defined an approach, it has defined a life that began in an impoverished state and has turned into something that even he could not have imagined as a high school football quarterback on a team that didn't win a single game. First win comes in Montreal, 1987. Get this, Louis Bloom pulled this one up. A perfect 700 race span between, if we count that first win in 1987 and we count this race, 700 races encompassing the 149 victories that he has accomplished in his NHRA funny car racing career. They stacked up like cordwood from there. And on the other side of the racetrack, the second winningest Nitro funny car driver in the history of the NHRA, with great history here. His first win in a top fuel car, 1995, to his 50th win in 2016, and his 60th career win in 2018. His 61st career win would be the equivalent of a block in chess. He would stop. That man right there, Jill Prock, Brittany Force, looking on as John Force and Ron Capps, two of the indisputably greatest ever, get ready to lock horns here in Seattle. Will this be the moment that John Force closes the chapter on 150 wins? They lead within 2,000ths of a second. Force is a car length out, and at the finish line, it's John Force for the 150th time in the greatest career in NHRA history. He's done it. Pacific Raceway's going absolutely bananas when he went across the finish line. A 397 with the tail hanging sideways late in the run. At 320 miles an hour, defeats Ron Capps' lower 401.
It starts with the tuner, the car. They gave him a car that can win. John Force did the rest.
We have Bruno Massa with Brian Karate.
Down here in the starting line with Dan Hood and Brian Karate. Dan, this is your father-in-law. You just tuned to his 150th victory history. How does that feel right now?
Just a blessing to be a part of it. Finally got that 150 monkey off our back. It's been hanging there, and glad for him. I think we're going to have quite a few more to come.
His 9th career victory at Seattle. The only other track he's had more success is Brainerd, Minnesota, with 11 wins. It is never easy to predict John Force's emotional state when he climbs out of a race car. Is it relief? Is it satisfaction? Or is it tears? We're going to find out when he pulls his helmet off here in a moment. But for everyone that sat here to watch this drag race this weekend, all of you watching at home, you've seen something that we may never, ever see again in the sport of NHRA drag racing. A 150th career victory.
Don't let anybody tell you don't fucking, matter. I'm so fucked up lately. I'm sorry. Come here. Love you. Love you too. The best, right here. It's just
the raw emotion of John Force pouring out.
Don't screw you up. I've been screwed up for 25 races. And God, I'm glad that monkey's gone. I'm going to shoot that. Where is that monkey? I love that monkey now. But
the words flowing like a river, and we apologize if some of those hit you the wrong direction, but that's John Force. And Jamie Howe is right there at ground zero with him. Good luck with this, Jamie.
And Ron Capps was the one that put the winner hat on his head. 150 wins for John Force, right on the lips for Ron Capps. John, how do you explain the success that you've been able to enjoy?
Because I surround myself with the greatest people, the greatest sponsors with Peak and Auto Club and Chevrolet and Advanced Auto Parts and CarQuest and of course Montana brand. I got a young kid coming here right now. But what I've done is taken their money and bought the best people. Karate, Brian Karate, my son-in-law Daniel Hood, and Fabrizi and this team got me this win. And I've been struggling, but there's a lot of other guys that have got me this win. So I just want to say, to all the guys that were part of 150, you're all part of my life. But I want to tell you, Austin Coyle, I love you. You stood by me, called me every week, said I was screwed up, but I could still drive. God bless you, you and Bernie Federle. We finally made it. It's 150, and I'm over this shit.
John, as you hold up that Wally, there is a special Wally here. That was your first win, 1987 Montreal.
Holding both his first and 150th Wallies. How do you do it?
This is the way you write it up. John Force and his team, they had some work to do. They were at a disadvantage coming into this final round. It was Ron Capps that was quicker in the semifinals. John Force had the car. The team gave it to him. He left the starting line right there with Ron Capps. Ron Capps, for some reason, slowed down. But I realized when these two drivers were pulling up into the staging lanes, a very special place for both of them. But John Force, 150 wins. I was there for 100. And I think What's most telling about that win is he thanked Austin Coyle, Bernie Federley, the people that got him there.
Hey, I'm going to the stands, baby.
His family now. He gives his wife Lori a kiss on the cheek, his grandson standing with him. And now you heard what he said. He's heading to the stands. Why? To watch a young man who's gotten a shot because of John Force, the Montana Brands car. Austin Brock. We talk about symmetry in drag racing. It's a sport of two cars running down next to each other. It is a sport of men and women, young and old. It's a sport of a guy with 150 wins and a kid that hasn't ever made a final round at Top Fuel before, trying to get his first. That's him right there, Austin Prock. The addition of Austin Prock came with the addition of Don Prudhomme. And the addition of Don Prudhomme was the shot of B12 vitamin in the backside of John Force this season. We have seen him more passionate, more energetic, and more fired up than ever. And we put a lot of that on Don the Snake Prudhomme's presence in that team's organization now. And then there's this man, Steve Torrence. There is a road you can drive if you drive between Seattle and Sonoma. You can drive in Humboldt, California through the redwood trees. It's called the Avenue of Giants. This weekend in Seattle, Washington, the Avenue of Giants includes this man here, Steve Torrence, who has warded over the Top Fuel category in ways that we have not seen in many years in NHRA drag racing. But is Austin Prock the man to beat him in Seattle? Here we go. Two horrendous reaction times. Steve Torrence smokes the tires, and it is perfect symmetry. Austin Prock collects his first career victory as John Force collects the 150th. Mike Green swarmed by Austin Prock's mother. John Force hobbling over the wall into the starting line. The reaction times were not good on either side of the racetrack. Steve Torrence smokes the tires early. Austin Prock gathers the car up and goes to the finish line running 3.87 seconds. And John Force is going to attempt to climb a fence successfully. I don't know where he's going, but he's trying to get somewhere. And Steve Torrence, 4.984 seconds after smoking the tires. As Austin Prock, Tony, this is a storybook end.
Look, nobody saw that coming, how bad they were off the starting line. Nobody's going to remember that. It's a random starting line. But let's go down to Bruno at the finish line, starting line.
Down here on the starting line with Jimmy Prock and Jill Prock, your son just did something that, well, a lot of people dream of, and that is winning Top Fuel. What does this feel like, Mom?
Oh, this is a big dream come true for me, let me tell you. There's nothing to compare it to. Nothing in my life right now.
What do you say to your son right now, Jimmy?
I'm proud of him. You know, he did a good job all day. He looked like maybe he was a little late there. He might not be happy with that, but hey, we got the win, and, you know, I'm really proud of him. He's worked hard to get here, and he's dedicated to what he does, and he reaped some rewards for that today, and good job to him.
Congratulations, guys.
John Force has scaled the grandstands, and Austin Prock has scaled his Top Fuel dragster. Unbelievable. And as a wise man once said, this ain't a beauty contest. The reaction times matter nothing. All that matters is the win light, Tony.
Yeah, right off the starting line. You know, it's a random Christmas tree. Some of the drivers want it reconfigured, but I like it because it doesn't allow the driver to anticipate the light. And sometimes the starter, whenever he activates that tree, it's going to count down whenever. Sometimes drivers have to wait there a little bit. This, in particular, was quick. Now, Steve Torrence reacted quicker, but watch his car. He loses traction early in the run, tries to get in and out of the throttle. He had a big lead, but that was swallowed up by the car that was able to maintain the traction. That was Austin.
In 1995, a man named Ron Capps got his first career Top Fuel win here. Our first time winner with Jamie Howe.
For Austin Prock, he grew up around the sport. Austin, how does this moment compare to what you imagined?
Oh, I can't even believe it right now. I'm in total shock. I look like an idiot up there. Torrence double-balled me, and, you know, I was just rookie move. But we got her done. When it's your day, it's your day. God bless. I went to church this morning, and they said it's going to be a blessed day, and it was. Oh, unbelievable.
Congratulations.
John Force is literally in the grandstands here at Pacific Raceways and has been swarmed by the NHRA fans, and his hugs and his handshakes and his high fives. And somebody has the gold cap that he was awarded at the top end. He heaved it into the crowd. And let me tell you something, in terms of drag racing collector memorabilia, that's one you're going to want to hold on to for a while. And if Austin Prock heaves his cap, that is the start of a very promising career in Top Fuel. And somewhere, actually I can tell you where, in Sturgis, Don Prudhomme is celebrating. Tony Pedregon, every one of these races we have, 24-year carries its signature moments. Very few of these races carry historical significance like this one.
Yeah, for Austin Prock, he's never going to forget it, and what a big win for him. To win on the same day as John Force, amazing.
The Sunoco Winner's Circle, 2 out of the 3 winners down there because John Force is AWOL in the grandstands right now. The confetti is flying. Matt Hartford winning on a hole shot. Austin Brock winning by outpowering Steve Torrance. And John Force, after an impromptu trip to the grandstands, is being surrounded by NHRA officials as he heads to the starting line. It is going to be a party the likes of which the city of Seattle has never seen tonight as the Force Camp has celebrating a double-up in Top Fuel and Nitro Funny Car for the history books. Congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you for tuning in to the NHRA Northwestern Nationals here in Seattle, Washington. In just 2 weeks, we go to Brainerd, Minnesota. I believe John Force may have knocked the wind out of himself when he tried to totally Carl Lewis that fence down there. Sunday, August 18th at 2 p.m. on FS1, it will be the Lucas Oil Nationals. Top Fuel, Nitro Funny Car, and Pro Stock will be featured. It has been an incredible Western swing. It has been ups and downs. It has been teams finding their stride and other teams losing theirs. As our fans begin to lord around the starting line, waiting to see the greatest Nitro Funny Car driver of all time in the flesh, we will leave you and see you soon. 2 weeks, Brainerd, Minnesota. And as the old drag racing announcers used to say, be there!
How do you view the Phillies as they go at it trying to win this NL East?
In my opinion, whoever wins the NL